live. And now we're live on Facebook and YouTube, live on IG. And yeah, welcome everyone. Woo! Sometimes when you got something to say, let me wait for people on Facebook so that what I say makes sense. So in the meantime, Polly, what you been doing? What did you have for breakfast today? And before you ask me, I haven't had breakfast yet. All I've had is water, and I need to drink more actually. I am definitely hungry. So after this, hopefully it's going to be short and quick. Well, yes, hopefully it's going to be short and quick, but I need to get this off my chest. All right, I'm just speaking of getting off my chest. I'm just going to go ahead and do it now. So anyway, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good morning, good day to you. This is not my podcast. Oh, you haven't broken your fast yet. Neither have I. Yeah, I'll operate at Atlanta time. I know that's right. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining this conversation, whether you're listening to it live or listen to the archive, the recording. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Um, I've been having an interesting experience for the last few days, but yesterday was heavy, was tough. And when you live from a place of conscious awareness, when you're choosing to, I don't want to say vibrate from a higher frequency, because sometimes we say this, like, I choose to vibrate from a higher frequency. Yeah, well, good luck with that. I choose to live aligned with the highest and best. I choose that. And there are times when I feel like, ooh, I'm feeling this so strong. I feel like I don't want to do this anymore. It's like, no. There are times when it doesn't feel like highest and best, where I have to ask myself some deeper questions, have a conversation with God and say, what? What is it? What am I doing wrong? Hey, Kathy, I didn't know that was you. I had my browser over there. It's nice to see you. I was wondering who was there. So today's Get Vulnerable. I was telling another friend today, I said, when we say yes to God, when we say yes to the divine, when we say yes to living life fully, we get stripped naked. Your yes will have you be stripped naked. And it doesn't happen at once. It didn't happen for me at once. It's like you get time to take your hat off, your necklace off slowly. And then after a while, you get to the underwear. You're like, oh, but I'm not ready yet. Oh my God. But life, if you keep saying yes, after a while, you'll be like, fuck it. Just take it off. And life goes, nope, you got to take it off. So right now, I actually do feel like I'm taking off my underwear. I know that sounds kind of crazy, right? Yeah, and I am. The underwear, the part that covers that, the parts of me that people don't always see. And, it sounds like I'm about to come out. I'm not going to make fun because now people get sensitive. Like, that's not a funny thing. It's like, well, it's funny. Even people who didn't come out or won't, well, who struggled with coming out, when they did, they look back and say, oh, I don't know why I was tripping. But I'm not coming out like that. I'm coming out, but not coming out about sexuality or anything like that. So anyway, yesterday was super, super heavy for me, super hard. And I won't even say that I'm still moving through the residue of it. It's still happening. So I'm gonna get a little bit more transparent just because I feel like I'm led to share it, because I feel like, and I'm trying to avoid a cliche. Somebody needs to hear this. Somebody always needs to hear something. But yes, somebody needs to hear it. And I also know healing happens in community. Through our stories, we heal one another. And I'm committed to healing. It's the work that I do. But what I want to do before I tell you my personal experience, which I am feeling, it's amazing. I'm feeling so raw right now. There's a part of me that's like, why did I ever start this? So I am going to read today's daily thought. Today is Friday, January 28th, 2022. And Daily Thoughts is a daily inspirational published by Hillside International Truth Center in Atlanta, Georgia. and I'm one of the writers. So, or one of the authors, author, same thing. One of the writers, one of the authors for. So I wrote for the month of January. So, which is why you see me posting every day, which sometimes is tedious. But one, I know somebody needs to hear it, and two, it's like this is the work that I do. This is my work, so I put it out there. And to be quite frank, it's also promotion. That's the truth. I think I'm going to be telling so much truth like never before. I don't know, but it feels like it. So, the daily thought, the affirmation is my mind is powerful. My mind is powerful. You are a spiritual computer programmer. Let me read that again. You are a spiritual computer programmer. Some of you may have read it, but I'm still going to read it anyway because I wrote it and it sounds different when I read it. Trust me. Every day you get a chance to reprogram your mind, your spiritual computer. The good news is, even when your file, thought, is corrupted, your operating system, pure spirit, will continue to self correct and self organize all the glitches. Pure spirit programmed you for greatness, goodness, and prosperity. Update your spiritual computer with new files, thoughts that resonate with living well, regardless of your appearances. You are pure spirit embodied, living well in a garden of grace, ease, and wholeness. I mind my mind. Every atom, cell, tissue, muscle, and organ is responding to this spiritual program, this affirmation. I reboot my mind daily with new thoughts, ideas, and vision for the day. I rejoice knowing that there are great possibilities ahead of me. All is well. I am well. I am living well. Thank you, faith in me, through me, as me, around me, through the Christ within, and so it is. Do not imitate the ways of the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may discern what is good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Romans 12, 2, verse 2. So, Nikki, Grand Rising, my dear sister. So, I'm titling this conversation, It Is Not Always Easy. And I was sharing with you a little bit about how yesterday was for me and reading the daily thoughts. And this morning, as I was listening to Spirit, it was like I was getting the nudge to share this. And I was actually feeling quite up to sharing it. But the more I'm speaking it out loud, the more I'm like, oh, shit. Sorry, if you have kids in the car. Shit. I just tell them I said shift. I said shift, kids. I said shift. I don't know what you heard. If you think I said something else, little kid, I don't know where you learned that from. So here it is. It's not always easy. So I'm grateful to hear from people to tell me how daily thoughts inspires them, how he speaks to what they're dealing with. That's always the intention, that when people read it, it becomes an answered prayer, right? And one of the things about the spiritual path, well, I believe everybody's on a spiritual path, whether they call it that or not. Everything is spiritual. Everything is spiritual. Everything comes from the spiritual realm. Everything is spiritual. Just because it's now immaterial, it becomes a thing, doesn't mean it's less spiritual. Everything comes from the spiritual self, the spiritual substance. That's actually better. The spiritual substance. You are from there. So there is a way, there's some things that happen in life which we can't really explain, that we choose to stay in the spiritual vibration of who we really are. Some of us live it differently, and some of us are doing it consciously. And this process, it's not always easy. So when you hear daily thoughts, you're a spiritual computer programmer. Every day you get a chance to reprogram your mind, your spiritual computer. The good news, even when your file, your thought, is corrupted, your operating system, pure spirit, will continue to self correct and self organize all the glitches. when we hear that, when I hear that, when I read that, it's like, whew, yes. But there is something that is required of us to integrate the old and the new. So I'll tell you a little bit about what happened yesterday for me. Wow, this is much bigger than I thought. Like for real, for real. It's not always easy to live these principles, spiritual principles, or live a life that is acceptable, even just to yourself. So I have this event coming up. It's a 28-day experience called Manifest Your Dream. And the work, I've been doing this work for about 20 years, over 20 years, but at least 20 years. But one of the things that I can say that I'm still working on becoming an expert on is promotion and marketing. Promotion and marketing. See, it's challenging for me because what I'm promoting, what I'm marketing, it's really my reason for being. This is what I'm here to do. I know it. I have no doubt. This work, coaching, healing, inspiring, teaching, however you want to put it, speaking, it's really one thing. I'm here, I'm a healer. So I do it in different ways. So when it comes to promoting the events that I do, I'm telling you right now, I just want to put it out there one time and I want people to sign up. I want people to just like, okay, let me just put it out there quickly. And then there's this whole thing about taking spiritual gift and charging for it. People have all these stories about it. And what I've come to realize every time I put an event out or do a workshop, it challenges me. So when I say yes to facilitating a 28-day event, calling it Manifest Your Dream, I am being asked, I am being called to manifest my dream. Nikki said, I have to clarify my language too. Yes. I am manifesting my dream. So in this process of promoting, I did a 3-month series that I put together and had Masanko and Queen Michelle join me. It was a 3-month event called Representing Our Ancestors, Representing Our Stories. That also required a lot of promotion, Facebook Live, Instagram Live, YouTube, just letting people know about it. I never really didn't see myself as a promotion and marketing person. Long story short, let me keep it short because I don't want to drag that on. Yesterday, I was feeling like, yes, people have registered, but not as much as people that I want. What's going on? And I was not in a good place. I was mad. I was frustrated. I was sad. I was like, am I wasting time? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Is this good enough? I talked to my beloved, my partner, and I just told her, I said, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I was in tears, to be quite frank. I was in tears. It's like, this is hard. This is hard. It's hard when I've heard people say, once you find your purpose, you never want for anything. Yeah, true. And we don't always get the small prints. So the daily thought that I read, when we read it, it's inspiring. When we read a book, it's inspiring. When we watch a show or listen to a speaker, we go to conferences, we pay money, lots of money. Sometimes we have to borrow money and we come back feeling inspired. But when we come back to ourselves, it's not always easy to integrate that. It's challenging. So we end up doubting ourselves. We end up feeling frustrated. And if I'm not speaking for you, don't worry about it. I'm only talking for the us's, those of us that are united in spirit, all the us, US, okay? It's frustrating. You doubt, you fear. You don't even know if you're doing it right. And then sometimes other people look at you and say, I'm proud of what you're doing. You inspire me. And they're like, I feel like that right now. And yesterday, after I had my moment, it lasted the whole day. I felt this rawness in me. And then I thought the best thing I could do is just continue to promote. continue to do what I know to do because I believe in what I'm doing. I know it is guided. I believe in my work. And so integrating spiritual principles, when your old belief and your new one, they clash, it can be painful. So part of my story of promotional marketing is like, ooh, what are people going to say? Ooh, is it too expensive? Can they afford it? Is it this? Is it that? Stories, other people's stories that I don't even know if it's their story, but I'm making it up and now making a reflection of me. And I'm not going to tell you that I've healed that, but I've stayed in communication, asking for guidance. How do I? It's like I have a responsibility to this work. This is why I'm here. The success of my business, the success of the work that I do, I'm accountable for that. So I kept asking, what do I do? And I was receiving the guidance that I needed. And this morning, I got guidance to share it with a friend of mine. See, there is no healing without vulnerability. I stand by it. There is no healing in your comfort zone. If you want to heal, you really want to heal, you're going to be uncomfortable. But the uncomfortability is not bad. It's actually for your good. But while you are feeling that badness, the uncomfortability, it doesn't feel good. And it makes us want to hide. It makes me want to hide. It makes you want to hide. And we think we're doing it wrong. But life is constantly inviting us, step out, strip, take that off, get naked. Let me strip you completely. Take it off. When we apply these tools or applying the tools, it's not always easy. We may have situations where we're building something and it looks like it's becoming a success, but then you have family members who need you, or you need to go somewhere, or your children need you to be at a certain game that you can't be at, and you haven't been in the last 3, and you think you're a bad parent, and you're trying to figure it out, or you have a family member, a friend who's sick that you can't reach out to, and you're struggling. And you're praying, you're affirming that all is well. And then you get on social media and someone said, make sure you draw close to people that you love. Tell them you love them while they're here. And you're like, oh, shit, I'm not doing the right thing. But that ain't easy. It's a constant breaking down. So spiritual truth, when you read it, for the most part, it's like, yes. But when it comes to applying it, yes, Deanna, it takes you to a place of rawness. I woke up this morning with guidance to share the event with a friend of mine. And those of you who know what it is, if you go to you can go to my website. I think it's a lot easier. I created a link because I thought it would be easier, but it may not be. I've said it so many times. Just go to lifecoachade.com, lifecoachade.com, click on product and services, and you see manifest your dream at the top. You can read it there. So I send the information to a friend because I'm thinking, okay, I need to do some more promotion. It's happening in a few days. I'm stressing. Not so much stressing today, more like in a raw place, in a vulnerable place, like, oh boy, some people have registered and I've created, and the intention is to have more people be there. And as soon as I sent it to that friend, I got another thought to send it to another friend, to another friend, to another friend. By the time I finished, I've sent it, Kathy, I sent it to you too. I've sent it to like 15 or so many people that I wasn't thinking about. I just went down WhatsApp. And as I kept sending to different people, I was feeling kind of strong, like, yes, this is work to be proud of. People may register or not, but give people the opportunity. And I'll ask people to share with their network, share with your network, because it sometimes seems like the people who are doing things that cause separation are much louder than those of us who are doing work that about inclusivity, because we want to be conscious, we want to be mindful of not imposing ourselves, our truth. We want to be kind, we want to be inclusive, we don't want to project. But the people who are creating divisions, they don't give a flip about All of that. They get out there, they get the camera, they write, they get on the news, and they say exactly what they need to say. And we get sucked in their BS, and then we start talking about it. So we energize their BS rather than the truth, rather than energize our BS, our belief system of inclusion, of healing. Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate that. So I feel sometimes that not sometimes, I feel like I'm pretty vocal. I can stand by what I believe in. So this whole thing is not easy. Is I just want to say to whoever needs to hear it, be easy. There are people who are doing the traditional 9 to 5 and wish to have their own business and have the freedom to do what they love because they believe that's just what they desire, and they're struggling to figure it out. And sometimes the people doing in traditional 9 to 5, they look at me, people like me who are doing what we love on a daily basis, and it's, I want to do what you do. I want to be where you are, not do what I do, but I want to be in that space where I do what I love. And I'm like, yes, I understand. However, there are those of us that are doing what we love and so want a regular source of income on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. That doesn't happen. So you, on one hand, you got people doing the traditional 9 to 5 who are having money come in. They got to do the things that they want to do. They, whatever. Let's stay with money because that's very important, right? And there are those of us who do what we love, where our 9 to 5 starts at 9 a.m. any time zone to maybe 2 a.m. the next morning. Yes, there are breaks in between, maybe to catch a nap, maybe to do something different, but you go back. There's always an email. There's always somebody to send something to. There's always research to find a virtual assistant. There's always something to look at to see, let me research getting a bank loan. There's always, oh, I need a new computer. I can't call IT department. I need a new computer. So there are those in the traditional 9 to 5 wanting to do what they love and seeing people doing what they love and say, I want to have the same experience. And there are those of us doing what we love. They're like, I wish I could know that no matter what, every day there's a regular source of income. I'm staying with the money thing because we can hear that, particularly those of us in the West. It meant there are many other factors. But my point is, where we are, sometimes we look at other people and admire where they are, but there are responsibilities that come with being in a traditional 9 to 5, and there are responsibility to opting out of that. There's a responsibility to doing an event. There's a responsibility to parenting. There's a responsibility to live, to work out, to take care of your health. But sometimes, especially in the world where everything is on social media, on TV, and everything is glamorized and photoshopped, it's easy to believe that, yes, that person is flying second class and they're having a great experience. Why can't I have that experience? Some of it is just BS. Yes, Ashley, it is sometimes hard to keep trusting. It is hard to keep trusting. Sometimes. I wouldn't say it's all the time. But here's the thing. The question we get to ask ourselves is, am I spending more time invested in what I believe is keeping me stuck in bondage, miserable, frustrated? Or am I spending more time investing my time in what helps me feel a bit more peaceful, in my well-being? And it doesn't matter how you do that. That's the only important thing. Whether you do it 9 to 5, we need people with 9 to 5. I need somebody working 9 to 5, 9 to 12, whatever time, to make sure the internet, the lights, and everything is going. We don't need everybody working from home. Like, I'm self-employed. Maybe we can all be self-employed. Really, when we think about it, we're all self-employed. Just a different way if you're in a traditional 9 to 5. But I just want to say to you, to me, to us, to be easy with ourselves, because life ain't easy. It's simple. Sometimes it's a relationship, wanting to be in a relationship. There are people who are not in a relationship doing everything, questioning themselves, doubting themselves, judging themselves for not being in a relationship. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? And there are people in a relationship saying, I want to get out of this relationship. Why can't I make it work? Oh, my relationship is going to the shift. Life ain't always easy. The thing is, what is important is the intention. What is your intention? What is your intention? Yes, spend time with yourself. Spend time with people that you love. And just remember, at the end of the day, you're going to answer to yourself. And I don't mean that from a judgmental or be hard on yourself, but really at the end of the day, you're only going to have yourself to answer to. Life is calling for us, especially now. There's so much happening. And the way through it is the way in it. We got to get in it. I had to confront all the stories about what people think about me sending them information about my program. And often what I got back was affirmation. So it was my stuff in the way that I was projecting. And the little thoughts that tried to come up, and I was like, oh, you better delete this after. Now, you may be listening to this and feeling inspired, or maybe you may be feeling, oh, I needed to hear this. There's still a part of me that's like, ooh, it's a bit much. You put it out there, it's a bit much. But I also know that what I'm calling a bit much is just stripping myself of stories that are not true. When you strip yourself by sharing your stories, your story is important. It will heal somebody else. When you tell it, when you speak it, you actually feel lighter. Ashley said, we keep showing up and trying again, and it matters. So true. So true. Stacy. Did you say it's a lot? Like what I'm sharing is a lot? Hey. I'm already vulnerable now. Go easy on me. Stacy's on IG. She said, luckily, my 9 to 5 is something I believe in. Now, that's something that, yes, exactly. And I wish that, pray that for every and anyone, whatever you're doing, something that you believe in. Natural Resources Program Manager, keeping the water clean and safe. But it's difficult to make, would you say, oh, wait a minute. He said, but it's difficult to make time other things. Oh, it's difficult to make time for other things. Yes. It's always, I'm dealing with something my sister dealing with. Thinking of going to London, I don't know, but I have so much to do. Got a podcast coming up. I'm working on this program. She needs my help. I don't know if I can go. I'm feeling bad about if I can go or not go. I'm feeling bad. I'm feeling like I'm disappointing her. That's a whole different conversation. I won't go into that. We deal with a lot, and we will never get it all done. Like in the 4 agreements, be impeccable with your words, don't make assumptions, don't take things personally, and always do your best. Those agreements, they're guiding lights, and I would just invite you, always do your best. If you feel like you didn't do your best yesterday, do your best today. Do your best today. Just do your best. We don't have enough time and energy to do everything that we think we need to do or that we've been told we need to do. It's a lie. It's a lie. So yes, spiritual principles, when you hear it, it activates, it elevates. Understand, integrating it is another thing. So be easy, because life ain't easy. So I'm going to go back to keep doing my promotions. Once again, if you want to join me or know people or be willing to share the information with your network, please do. It's on my Facebook page. It's on IG. Go to lifecoachade.com, lifecoachade.com. Manifest your dream. It's a 28-day creative transformational group coaching. And the whole thing is really, it is about manifesting dreams, but it's being able to access, to anchor with our true, I don't want to say true self, our true essence, so that whether you have a dream that manifests within 28 days or 28 years, that you can always know to come back to your true essence. You always have that. You know how to get back to yourself. We're going to work with your dreams. We're going to do visualization journeys. There's going to be a private group where you meet. We meet 4 times a week. We have a closing ceremony on February 28th. And the whole idea is collectively we come together to lift each other up. Healing happens in community. And more, just as important, the dream that you want to manifest is important. But this is what is much important. When you have a dream, when you have a goal, when you have a vision, think about what you would feel like when you've achieved that. Or maybe you're trying to buy a car. Maybe you're trying to be in a relationship. Maybe you're looking for the perfect mate. Maybe you're looking to buy the perfect house. How would you feel when that dream, when that idea is achieved, accomplished? What is the feeling? What do you feel? You know what it is. If I have that house right now, if I have the right job that I love doing, if I could start my own business, and what would that feel like? Whatever you come up with, that's the reason you're doing what you're doing. So this 28-day creative transformational experience is helping you harness, amplify that feeling. So the things that you do are on the foundation of the feeling that you're chasing. So when you recognize what the feeling is right now, you're no longer chasing the feeling. The feeling is guiding you. You've heard me say, your dream is waiting for you to come true. Your dream is waiting for you to come true. Your dream is waiting for you to wake up. Stop waiting for your dreams to come true. Your dreams like, I'm ready. Come on, let's go. So it's deep spiritual work to connect with the truth, to confront whatever's in the way. Part of my process has been just promote the shit. Just do it, okay? Yes, you got stories, promote. Yes, Kwali said, I'm with Stacy. I work to support my children. That is the greatest job, to raise another human being. And I think Kwali, you have what, 4 children? You have about 4. I think about 4. Even if it's just 1, if it's 2. And whatever we do is not as important in as compared to how we're showing up. How we're showing up. And that's what Manifest Your Dream is about. Your dream, your life itself is a dream. We've been told that life is a dream. Row, 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 row your boat gently down the stream of life. Merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a dream. So when you're manifesting your dream, you're actually manifesting your life. What does that mean to manifest your life? You get to look at your own life. You get to look at your own self and realize, oh my God, I have skills. I got talents. I got gifts, and I can share it however I want. That is freedom. That is liberation. Yes, there might be some people who don't know how to do that, or because of where they live or their situation, but you not doing yours doesn't help them. And I'm not going back to doing the administrative work and go find out about bank loans and stuff like that. We've had a good time together. Okay. Oh boy. This is bad. Hold on 1 second. Well, it's real. It's real. It's real. Don't get any realer than that. It doesn't get any realer than that. Now that I've exposed myself to you in ways that you don't even want me to, it's time to let this go. Anyway, I love you. I bless you. I appreciate you. And I thank God for you. Whatever you do, be easy. Be easy. Our easiness, being easy with ourselves, is an act of love. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, everyone. And those of you listening to the recording, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. I love you, bless you, appreciate you, and I thank God for you. Thank you, Deanna. Go out there and spread your light, whatever that looks like. Peace and blessings.